Aryan, a name of trust and commitment for better quality. Aryan Coal Benefication Private Limited is one of the leading companies in the coal washery sector, which washes almost 1 million tons of coal. Moreover, it refines the coal in such a manner that it meets all parameters of quality and standard prescribed by the customers. Apart from coal washery, the Aryan Group of companies is also playing a vital role in the field of thermal power, wind power, sponge iron, steel and manufacturing of washery equipments. The other companies of Aryan Group are Aryan Energy Private Limited, Kartikeya Coal Washeries Private Limited, Aryan Clean Coal Technologies Private Limited and Aryan Ispat and Power Private Limited. The company has commissioned a 30 megawatt thermal power project in Korba district of Chhattisgarh. A 15 megawatt wind power project has been established in Sangli district of Maharashtra. 2 sponge iron units of 100 TPD each have been established at Jharsuguda district of Orissa. Their collective production capacity is 550 tons per day after expansion. On the other hand, one steel melt shop of 1.5 lakh tons daily production capacity is also planned. One railway sliding and 18 megawatt power generation in captive power plant is in the advanced stage of construction. Aryan Coal Benefication Private Limited was formed on 14th March 1997 under the Company Act 1956. Aryan Coal Washery is managed by renowned professionals of the coal market who are also experts in mine management. Providing utility through performance is the guiding philosophy of Aryan. Aryan has its headquarters in Delhi and zonal offices are situated in Kolkata, Mumbai, Nagpur, Secunderabad and Bhopal. Aryan has its regional offices in Bilaspur and Talcher. Coal is the primary source of energy, which is normally found in black and brown-black color. This is a big biofuel and it is found beneath the earth. This is used in making cement, steel and for power generation. Coal is the backbone of power generation industry throughout the world. At present, 62% of India's electricity is powered by coal. The Asian Development Bank reports that in the last few years, the quality of coal has continuously deteriorated. In 1960s, the coal had a calorific value of 5900 kilocalories per kilogram. This got reduced to the lowest of 3600 kilocalories per kilogram because of the increased percentage of open cast production. In India, around 80% of the required coal for power generation is produced through open cast mining. Almost 75% of the coal out of the available reserve is of E to G grade, which contains 42 to 45% of ash. It means that the coal generally available in the Indian mines is comparatively of low grade. In India, the coal is produced by 2 processes, the open cast mining and underground mining process. In the open cast mining, rock and stone admixes with the coal and this directly affects the quality of coal. Poor quality of coal affects the efficiency of the power stations by increasing the cost of generation as more oil support is required.
Unlike the other processes where coal is used as a fuel and it doesn't come in contact with the product, cement manufacturing, the coal gets mixed with the product to an extent. So it is not possible for us to use coal with ash percentage which is about 20-30%. So it's more than the efficiency, it's a basic requirement.
Meanwhile, in the wake of increasing pollution, Ministry of Environment and Forests, Government of India prohibited the use of coal having ash more than 34% in powerhouses located 1000 kilometers from pit heads, and those located in critically polluted areas and in urban sensitive areas.
Time frame was fixed by a Supreme Court notification in 1994 that from 1st July 1999 the use of wash coal will be mandatory for all such power plants. So we saw this opportunity in wash coal and we decided to establish the company Aryan Coal Benefication Private.
Because of the periodic increase in rail transport charges, washed coal has the benefit of lower transportation cost per million kilocalories.
Basic principle है customer को quality चाहिए and he is willing to pay for the quality. यदि आप quality maintain नहीं कर सकते आप market से बाहर हो जाएंगे. हमारा एक ही काम है कि quality and service to the customer जो उसकी requirement है उसको पूरा करें.
Around 361 million tons of washed coal would be required by the year 2025, whereas the present capacity is only 100 million tons. In order to narrow this huge gap, and in the wake of existing scarcity of good quality coal, this sector has immense potential. Keeping the present scenario in mind, Aryan Coal Benefication Private Limited started its first project at Dipka in Korba district of Chhattisgarh, which was commissioned in October 1999 with an initial capacity of 1 million ton per annum. As of November 2007, it has a washing capacity of million tons per annum. Chakbura washery has a capacity of 6 million tons. Aryan has enhanced its capacity million tons in Chhattisgarh alone. The Pandarpani washery in Chandrapur of Maharashtra also washes million tons of coal per annum. Quite apparently, this target could not have been achieved without the services of sincere, committed and honest workers. Today, Aryan can claim to have a group of best staff working in the coal industry, and they are known for their courage, efficiency and vision. On 3rd October 1999, ACBPL established Aryan Coal Washery at Korba in Chhattisgarh and started washing the F-grade coal from Dipka Gevra mines of Southeastern Coalfields Limited. With time, the requirement went up and the technology improved. The Aryan's customer list included new names in power plants, steel and cement sectors. The Dipka washery initially started with just 1 million ton capacity, now washes 12 million tons of coal. The raw coal of Dipka mine contains 39 to 42% of ash, but the coal released from Aryan washery has only 30 to 32% of ash. In the washed coal, the volatile matter is 25 to 26%. And the gross caloric value in this coal is 4800 kilocalories per kilogram. Aryan's efficiency was acknowledged in the year 2000 when International Organization for Standardization gave ISO 9001-2000 certificate. Aryan has the pride of giving services to some of the outstanding industrial units of the country. The reason behind this is Aryan's commitment towards quality. Among the power generating units, the Ukai and Vanakbori plants of Gujarat State Electricity Board, Suratgarh plant of Rajasthan Vidyut Utpadan Nigam, Powerhouse of Punjab State Electricity Board, Raichur Thermal Power Plant of Karnataka State Electricity Board, and Koradi plant of Maharashtra State Electricity Generation Corporation Limited.
If I get wash coal, immediately my loadability increases up to 200 megawatt, 210 megawatt. More being the ash content less, my ash handling problem also reduces. And as the loadability of the load is increased, the PLF, plant load factor of the unit also increases. The availability of the load increases. Then wear and tear of the boiler tubes also decreases because of the good quality of the coal. because it becomes very less amount of the ash.
Similarly, among the top national and international cement companies, Lafarge India Ltd, ACC Cement, Ultratech, Grasim Cements, Manikgarh, Gujarat Ambuja, L&T and Odisha Cement are the established Aryan customers. Aryan uses barrel washer and jig washer, which are modern and imported equipments for the coal wash. The main equipment barrel is imported from UK, the jig is imported from South Africa, and the de-sliming screen is bought from USA. Besides the traditional rotary breaker, vibrator feeders are also used effectively. The raw coal is carried in the trucks from the mines and is stored in the receiving hopper. The raw coal is sent in circuit by help of payloaders. There the coal stock is divided into 3 segments. The small size coal is stored in double deck and big size coal goes into the rotary breaker, while the fine coal gets separated. Rotary breaker is in fact an equipment which shapes the coal and also does the sorting. A stainer-like cylinder rotates in a frame in the rotary breaker. The coal is thrown into this equipment from a certain height so that the stone layer carried by the coal gets removed. The coal, being light in weight, comes out of the cylinder through the holes. Heavy stones and solids settle down at the bottom of the drum. Toothed double roll crusher is adjusted and then the coal is broken into the size as demanded by the customers. Coals of different sizes are sent to double deck screen. The coal stock, which does not need a wash, is bypassed directly so that it gets the least of moisture. The remaining coal is sent to barrel washer with the help of surge bunker. The functioning of barrel washer is based on the principle of hindered settlement and dense media separation. This barrel has a reverse crawler which returns the waste materials and throws them outside as a reject. The remaining coal is mixed with the clean coal. The RPM, diameter, length, thickness and the amount of water used in washing is decided on the basis of the characteristics of the coal. Since long, the equipments used in the washery have been imported from Britain, USA and South Africa. This not only led to heavy expense of foreign exchange, but the payment of heavy custom duty became mandatory. This directly affected the cost of production. Despite this constraint, the purchase of other indigenous equipments was not easy either, as the buyer has to often compromise with the quality due to the non-availability of equipments when needed. Therefore, Aryan installed its full-fledged unit in Haryana, where different washery equipments like rotary breaker, conveyor system, barrel washer, jig washer, screen and thickeners are manufactured. While washed coal supplied to the power stations improves the efficiency and lowers the unit cost of generating power, 20 to 25% of rejects started getting accumulated at pit-head washeries. This was one of the biggest challenges being faced by the washery operators so as to ensure environment-friendly manner for disposal of rejects. These rejects have a GCV of 1800 kilocalories per kilogram with ash percentage of 60 to 63%. Moreover, the storage of these rejects created a severe strain on the availability of land, and the washery had reached a stage of closure because of the non-availability of land for keeping the rejects. Aryan Coal Benefication Private Limited planned and finally constructed a 30 megawatt power plant as a pilot project in Chakbura of Korba district, Chhattisgarh, for burning of the rejects. Aryan Coal Benefication is also planning for another 30 megawatt power station and one power station of 2 into 135 megawatt capacity based on rejects, so as to ensure 100% disposal of rejects in an environment-friendly manner. Aryan joined hands with Messrs Suzlon Ltd and has set up a 15 megawatt wind power project in district Sangli of Maharashtra. The project has 12 numbers of wind turbine generators of 1.25 megawatt each. Aryan has signed a 20 years PPA with Maharashtra State for supply of wind power. Aryan's name has been approved by National CDM Authority under Ministry of Environment and Forests, Government of India for host country approval. Like its customers, Aryan also takes care of its employees equally. All the employees at the plant are provided with adequate safety equipments, including helmets, shoes, and dust masks. Wearing of loose clothes is strictly prohibited in the surrounding area of conveyor and other equipments. Pull cord switches and speed switches have been fixed at all the important points to cope up with any emergency and unwanted incident. The moment these switches are pulled, the conveyor stops immediately. All the risk-prone equipments have proper covering guards on them. Water is sprinkled on all the roads so that the dust particles remain settled on the surface. Even the coal and ash spread on the roadside is cleaned up with the help of Bobcat skid steer loader. To ensure minimum use of water for industrial purpose, all the washeries of Aryan Coal have a very comprehensive water management plan. These plants recycle the used water and then reuse it. Since the barrel washer is a closed circuit, it uses very little amount of water. The slurry released from the barrel washer is sent to the treatment circuit, where a thickener and settling tank is placed. Here, chemical is mixed in the slurry to separate the water and solid waste. The cleaned water is sent back to the washing circuit for reuse. To ensure quality of the coal and its quantitative examination, modern equipments are being used in the plant. The density gauge and control panel control the density of slurry in the barrel washer. Coal ash monitor is a computerized control equipment which records the data of ash content found on the conveyor belt and line. A full-fledged laboratory with imported equipment has been installed to exercise strict quality control. The weighing of the trucks used in the transportation of the coal is done through modern machines. The record of this machine can be checked afterwards at any time. The coal stock is loaded through payloader and is supplied to the customers according to their demand. It becomes evident that customer satisfaction is the utmost priority of Aryan, because Aryan is a synonym of trust and quality. Solve your coal quality problems through us.